Guys, what's going on? Welcome to Serial at Midnight. My name is Heath.
And I'm Bree.
And we're here to talk about Avengers Endgame. Now, full disclosure, the original plan for this video was to do a spoiler-free discussion, but we have tried, we have failed. It is impossible to talk about this movie without talking about spoilers. So, if you have not seen Avengers Endgame, stop this video. Pause this video. What should they do? Pause
the video. Go to the theater and see it, and then come right back and watch this video.
Yes, just leave it paused, and then unpause it when you get back.
That's right.
This movie is like already setting all kinds of records. So I think most of you, I think a lot of you guys have gone to see it.
I'm sure.
I'll start about that. So I wasn't like, I don't even know. Like I can't even. That's where I'm at with this movie. I can't even. The movie. I give it 2 thumbs up. I love this movie, but I'm trying to elaborate and trying to articulate why it's so hard for me, because it goes deep into like my comic book love, the love of the characters from these movies over the last 11 years. It's such a profound experience. Here's the thing. I don't think we have, I know for a fact we've never seen anything like this before. What Disney / Marvel has achieved with almost 24 movies over this 11-year span, introducing these characters, connecting the dots, building a larger world, and then I thought that it had kind of all come together with Avengers Infinity War. There was nothing compared to this movie.
Absolutely.
And so I also feel, having now finished this movie, I don't think we're going to see anything like this again. I think what we have seen with the 3 phases of Marvel, or whatever they were, from Iron Man to Avengers Endgame, I think that's movie history.
Will it be so challenging to replicate it?
Yeah.
With how big of a universe they built and how intricate it was, and the backstories and connecting everything. Like, I think it would be really hard.
And they will. They will try to replicate that, because we've already seen
successful.
Because this is a spoiler review. They've passed the torch for several characters now.
Yes, they're going to keep going.
It's legacy. And I'm not even surprised by any of that. I think we knew going in that some of these characters wouldn't make it out. I think we kind of all knew who they would be.
Yeah.
And it's weird, because we live in a world where we know contract negotiations and we know what certain actors are being paid. But also the way for this has been paved for years now in the comics, because how many times has Steve Rogers not been Captain America? So like, Steve Rogers has been bumped off, he's been arrested, he's been, like, so many things have happened. Winter Soldier has been Captain America, Falcon has been Captain America. We've had different Iron Mans. That's a weird word. But I want to say this. So when I reviewed Avengers Infinity War for the channel, my initial reaction was like, well, they did it. That was entertaining. That was pretty good. I didn't love it.
Your Robert De Niro face.
It's pretty good. Yo, you're pretty good. I didn't love it.
Yeah.
I didn't dislike it.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's all right.
It was all right. It was a good time at the movies. This is so personal to me, you guys. Like, this is, again, the words are failing. It means so much to me, because I love these characters, and this is, I was afraid it was going to be a big 3-hour CGI spectacle, and it wasn't. It was like 2 hours and 40 minutes of character, 20 minutes of CGI shenanigans that I was invested in, because I'd had all this character stuff to invest in. I wanted to say something about the character development too. One of the things that I noticed in this movie is, some people have said in the comments below, and I'm not calling out anybody, but some people have said in the comments that they didn't think that there was a lot of character development in movies like Thor Ragnarok or...
Oh my gosh, really?
It's been said.
Oh.
Whereas I see these movies, and in this one, I was like, this character is now at the end of their arc. This character is now at the end of their arc. Once you've had Captain America, spoilers, once you've had Captain America pick up Thor's hammer and use it, you can't go back to him not having the hammer. You've reached the arc. Then he starts here, he pinnacles, he is at the end of his journey. Same with, I don't know what they're going to do with Hulk from this point, because Hulk is another one. He's made peace with who he is. He's the Gray Hulk. He has blended the monster with the scientist. And in the comics, we saw, comics can do these things, but they also have to constantly reset. If you can't reset a movie like that. You have to clear the plate. And so, so many of these characters, I was like, Tony Stark is done. Even before at the beginning of the movie, I was like, he's not going to die on this ship, but he's done.
His will was,
yeah.
His will to live it seemed over.
Well as he is no longer the selfish, his internal struggle is he's now fully a hero. What Tony Stark has always been was like the hero who has to put himself aside.
Yeah.
But the Tony Stark we meet in this movie cares more about his family than anything else in the world.
Yeah.
And his ultimate sacrifice, you see, like, of course he's going to do that. All these original Avengers characters have come so far in the last few movies. Everything that I look back now, it's all been laid out. Like the Winter Soldier stuff, I'm talking too much. Do you have anything you want to...
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I don't want to, like, step on you.
No, it's fine.
But it's just, like, so many of these things have been... You can just see. I'm sure they flew by the seat of their pants a lot, too. But so many of these moments have been laid out for so long. And you can look back now and you can see. And that's one of the things that I love so much about this movie that makes it feel really special to me, is because it is not just a sequel to an Infinity War or the latest Avengers movie. It actually succeeds in revisiting everything that has come before, respecting it, paying tribute to it, and then saying goodbye. And I think that there are a lot of people who are going to go see this movie. I just gave myself goosebumps thinking about that. Not like I'm like, oh, you're so wise, but like the thought of that, like, it's time to say goodbye.
Yeah.
And I did get emotional during the movie. It was not at the parts that I think people would expect. It was...
Well, this is a spoiler review, so
Yeah.
you can share when those... When did you get emotional?
Avengers Assemble. Because he's never said that in the movie. Every time he almost says it, they undercut it. Something else happens. Like at the end of Age of Ultron, he's like, Avengers? And then they cut. And they go to credits. So to have Cap and all of the Avengers there that we've ever seen. And it's just a movie, right? It's just comic book characters. It's just a movie, but the spirit of like the heroism and what it's in service of, and then the Cap with the when Cap gets the Iron Man, the Thor hammer. That was another one. I was like, yeah. And then of course at the end of the movie, when we get Cap's ultimate fate, when we learn...
Oh my gosh.
Like, going all the way back to the first Avenger, he got his happy ending. And he lived a happy life. It's beautiful. This movie is classy AF. This movie is so... Like, the way that they went out, the way that they tied up all these characters, you pass on the torch to the Falcon, you pass on... I can't even... Like, I can't. I'm too emotional right now. But the way that the credits come up, and then it's like all the farewells, the signatures and stuff.
Oh yeah, that was really nice. Yeah.
I have not I can be. It's weird because I can be unsentimental about certain things. Certain things get through the cynic. I don't know that I present myself cynically here on the channel, but I'm just hard to impress. You think that's... I'm kind of hard to impress.
That's quite true.
But when something does, like this movie, like I have not appreciated what these movies meant to me. I mean, I have loved them, some more than others, but having it all tied up now, like, this was history. I don't think Harry Potter didn't do it. Lord of the Rings didn't do it. Star Wars didn't do it. We have trilogies. We have highs and lows, but here we have 20... Is it 22 or 23? Anyway.
A lot.
Almost over 20 movies in a short amount of time, with presenting characters, building these characters, and then saying goodbye to the characters. And I think there are a lot of people who are going to be upset that why can't we just keep... why can't we have more Captain America adventures with Steve Rogers? Why did Tony Stark have to go? Now, unfortunately, a lot of that is because we know, like, contract negotiations and things like that. But also because things have to end. And like with our Kiss, the End of the Road tour review video, everything has an ending. Everything has a beginning, it has a middle, and it has an ending. And for now, for these characters, for the ones we said goodbye to, this was the ending. And it's comics. It's not actual comics. It's comic book movies. But anything can happen. I don't expect to see Chris Evans again in a movie. I don't expect to see Robert Downey Jr. again in an Iron Man movie. But it could happen. There could be a cameo here or there. But it felt like a wonderful goodbye.
Yeah. I agree.
Do you have anything that you want to throw in? You have any thoughts? I knew you struggled at the beginning of this movie, right? Like while I'm just gushing, you had
I really like this movie a lot, quite a bit actually, and I think just at the beginning when it was slowly setting everything up, I was not super into it.
Not feeling it.
Not feeling it at the very beginning.
Like the hot dog scene?
Well, no, just like the whole, like more than that. That was fine.
We don't know what you're talking about. Like, what do you...
Like, I liked that scene, but like it just...
Did you hear in the audience
slow
when
beginning.
the family vanished and like there were audible gasps? I'm like, are for real?
There were audible gasps at the end when... Did you hear too when Thanos' ship fired on the Avengers building? Like, as soon as the ship appeared, somebody went, oh my goodness.
So I'm sorry, what parts were you bored during? The building of
yeah.
Like when they were getting the team to, the 5 years later, just the mopey sad beginning?
Yeah, that's what it was.
The mopey sad beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I understand.
Exactly.
That. Yeah.
And I knew, I kept thinking, like, I know it's going to draw me in at some point. Because they always do.
Right.
But I just wasn't... I mean, I didn't hate it, but I wasn't super feeling
you weren't
it
engaged.
At the beginning.
It wasn't engaging you.
I was just kind of like, meh. But then I ended up really loving it. And I have to say, I freaking loved Thor in this movie.
Yeah.
So
Thor
much.
owned this movie. He owned this movie. I'm totally from the future. He got to do...
awesome.
It's like sometimes they do these things with these characters and you're not expecting it. Like... To take Thor to that level is like exactly not what you... It's like Hulk not really being in the last movie. This one, like, Thor's going to be in it, but he's going to be like 60 pounds overweight. He's going to be like a deadbeat alcoholic. He's always been an alcoholic, but it was great.
It was great. It was just... And I feel like when they do that, it makes them so relatable.
Yes.
Like, seeing flaws in superheroes is... one of the things I love, because I love being able to relate to them. You know?
Well, I want to say too, there's a difference between flawed characters and broken characters. And I think sometimes DC movies want to break the characters. In the way that like Zack Snyder directed Watchmen, he loves the Frank Miller, Alan Moore stuff that breaks those characters. And I think that's taking it too far, because once you've broken some of those characters, it's really hard to put them back together again. DC Comics is currently trying to do like Watchmen monthly, like integrate the Watchmen characters into their monthly comics, and I'm like, no, those characters are far too deconstructed so it's a fine line. Stan Lee was really great, because it did start with Stan Lee, really, and Jack Kirby and his co-creators, his collaborators as well, but that being able to make them, they're heroes, but they have the same problems that everybody else has.
That they struggle with things. I mean, that's one of the reasons I love Loki so much. Is because not you really because love of Loki. Tom Hiddleston, but
is he on your shirt?
Yeah,
he is on your shirt.
They both have Thor and Loki. Loki and Thor.
Is he showing up on the camera?
I don't know, but they're both there. It's
the
Rainbow Bridge.
The Rainbow Bridge.
But I love that he has a difficult past. You know, being adopted into this family, which I know can be a challenging thing. I mean, he's not a real person, but it just, his story and how it takes him, it's just, I really relate to people who have problems, because everybody has problems, and when people are just shown as perfect, I can't connect with them. But and And just the duality of him, how he struggles with being mischievous and being bad. With, like, he does do good things.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. And I feel like his character kind of came full circle with Thor Ragnarok as well. By the end of that movie, he's like a bro with Thor. Yeah. Did you notice all the community? The Russo brothers were taking care of their. I leaned over and I was like, community, taking care of the community people, because it was Ken Jeong. You had what is her name? My goodness, she was
Shirley.
Shirley, yes. Yeah. I
didn't know if you meant her real life name.
I can't remember her name
right now either.
It's probably like right here.
It'll pop up.
But yeah, it's the Russo brothers taking care of their community people. So maybe they're like, maybe Joel McHale was a rock
in costume.
Yeah,
a rock.
A rock. But I don't know really a whole lot what else to say about it. This was never intended to necessarily be a review as much as just a discussion about our reaction, why we, and not like those stupid YouTube like trailer reactions where people are just like, no. And you know what? There's going to be a ton of videos now that are going to be like 46 things wrong with Avengers Endgame. And to the people that make those videos and the people that watch those videos and enjoy that, why? This movie is meant to be experienced on a visceral, emotional level. They have built something, they have committed to something, and they have achieved something. They've played with these toys, and now they've sent several of these toys into the... They've put them back. They've put them away. They've put them back in the toy box. And
they passed over the Rainbow Bridge.
There you go. I think it's a beautiful movie. I think it's wonderful. I'm not going to go see it again in the theater.
No.
Because 3 hours is a long time. But I will say that I don't think I'd change a single second of this movie. Like, I know you would because you were a little bit bored at the beginning. But
we're all different. It's okay.
Well, yeah, no, it's fine. Are you going to go make a video about the 47 things wrong with...
Well, I was, but now
not after I took
feel
it down.
Super bad.
Took it down.
Just kidding. No. No. Well, and I love the ending so much. Can I say though? Just this reminded me because we were talking about like not happy ending. You know, like not everything has an end, and not everything has a happy ending.
And that Tony Stark says that in the voiceover too. Is that not everything has a happy ending.
I worry about that because you remember when we went to see Infinity War, the people in front of us were super upset about the ending. And I was talking to my kids at school about that, my 6th graders. And I was like, we went, these people in front of us were really, I don't think they knew it was going on because they were whispering things like, who's Steve Rogers? So, like, I don't know why they were there. But I was saying they were really upset about the ending, that it wasn't happy, and my students were like, what? Like, not everything has a happy ending. And I felt kind of relieved, like, oh, good, there are people in the generations below us who feel that way. And
I champion this movie for not being, I mean, I don't know, like, in a way though, it did have a happy ending. It was a happy ending. This is the best possible outcome for, at least for Tony Stark. I know, I guess the best possible outcome would be he's still around. But, he, like, what a journey. In a land, like, in a world where Game of Thrones kills characters, like 7 characters per episode, what a journey these characters have been on. And then, Steve, like, again, with Steve Rogers, where he's had, after all these years, to end it.
His story was the
Peggy
best.
Carter.
Gosh.
They, and so many, like, the Agent Carter characters, so oh my gosh, so many of these characters that we haven't seen in years. Natalie Portman. Back. Renee Russo. Howard Stark. I can't remember the actor's name. The second Howard Stark, right? Because they've had a few actors that played Howard Stark. But
John Slattery?
That sounds right. Everybody. Like this was everybody.
Do you know, I almost wore my Agent Carter shirt to the movie today. Wow. And then I decided on Thor and Loki. But I wish I had. Now I wish I had.
You might have been spoiling it for people, though.
They would think that I knew something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do love her, though.
I don't have anything else to say. I mean, I respect this movie. Not only did I enjoy it, I respect it. The way it went out to, like, Captain America, like, 40s big band music.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
And then...
It was great.
Classy. AF. Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Guys, thanks for hanging out with us and talking about Avengers Endgame. Of course, we want to know what you thought about it, so weigh in the comments below. We're not being dirty. We're telling you to weigh in the comments below. If you're going to make, I will say this, if you're planning on going to make a 46 Things Wrong with Avengers Endgame, you can talk to that too. But guys, thank you so much. We appreciate you so very much. So until next time, we will catch you later.